Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Nicole with Made from Scrap, and I'm going to do a little walkthrough followed by a tutorial of the pirate mini album that I have made using the paper collection that's called Pirates from Carta Bella. And this is picked up from Country Craft Creations. I also use the frames and tags, and I used quite a few of them. And then I had also picked up 3 of the solids cardstock that goes along with this collection so that I could use it. What I was left with for this album are 4 sheets that I set aside for my next project, and otherwise I've used up this paper pad. So this is a great little project to make the most of a 6x6 paper pad that you have in your stash. So it's a little 6x6 album. This is this is medium weight chipboard that I used, and there's a 1/2 inch wide spine on this, and that is the back. So let's do the little walkthrough. This is a really cute little scene on the front. I love it. Then I have this accordion pocket on the inside front cover. In the cut guide that I will show you a picture of, I went ahead and made this flap a little bit longer so that you could go ahead and utilize a magnet under there to help keep it closed, but I'm okay with this. You can see the little ephemera piece here, and when I open it up, there is plenty of space for lots of photos to be tucked in there. And then I made a couple of additional large photo mats out of some white Artisan cardstock. So that's the inside cover. Then we have a little split page that has tags in it. So I went ahead and show you how to do this. So we have the 2 tags, and you have this great scene here with a pirate ship. This is the first page I just flipped over. So you have a couple of the cut apart and the frames and tags from the collection. This opens up this way, and I have a little tuck spot here for a photo. And then I have a large pocket here on this page inside, so this flap will help keep this photo mat inside instead of falling out. And then on this, I used a little bit of twine and some eyelets in order to create this fun little waterfall here. So I'll show you how to do that. And then once this closes up, this is your second page. So I did use some seam binding. This is a Goldenrod color of seam binding, a little ephemera piece here, and one of the cut aparts that I went ahead and matted on some of that additional paper from the Pirates, the solids, and then the blue as well. So open that up, and you have another little tuck spot here on the back side of this flap. I created some layering here and then made this into a little tuck spot here for some of the tags there. I thought that was cute. And then you open this page up to the left, and we have a couple of additional places to unravel. So we have this little spot for a little list. I thought that is real fun. You can open that up here and do some couple of mini photos. You have these flaps in the middle here that I think is fun, and then you have some large spot for some photos. So that closes up like this. Then you have this page right here, which is just the large flap, and that's going to open up like so, and it's going to reveal this large pocket that you can put some more of the tags and photos and notes from your travels on there, or journeys. And then you're going to have this little rollout here. So I left a lot of space for journaling here, some room for photos. Open it up again, and more journaling space and a large spot for a photo. Okay, close that up, and then it opens this way, and you have this large pocket here. So I just created a couple of tags from Artisan Cardstock there. Isn't that a cool page? I layered up a few of the pieces from the frames and tags and just glued one to the other instead of to the page. Only one of them is glued to the actual page so that I can use this as a tuck spot as well. And then this opens up this way, have another little tuck spot here, or you can put a photo. How cool would that be? And then here I did a little pocket, side pocket, by just gluing it down. And I wanted to be able to set aside those few sheets from the collection, so I decided to go ahead and cut a piece of Artisan Cardstock for the size that I wanted, and then I used the scraps that I had on my table in order to just paper piece this background. So I thought that turned out pretty cool. I'm gonna close this up, fold this over, and then it ties up just like so. So it was a fun little album to make, and I hope you join with me and follow along with the tutorial. Okay, welcome back. So I went ahead and cut all of my cardstock using the cut guide and my chipboard. I'm going to use lightweight chipboard for this second version that I'm making, but I wanted to show you, these are all the scraps I have left after using just 8 pieces of 12 by 12 Artisan cardstock. So I have all of my pieces, and I can use this for something else, the scraps, for matting or whatnot. But here are all my cut pieces, and I have them in order, so I'm just going to flip them over so that I am starting with the very beginning of that cut guide to move forward. So I'm going to be bringing in my scoreboard here, and I'm going to be using those cover sheets and going ahead and doing the lay flat binding method here. Okay, I have all 3 of my pieces here for my cover, so I'm going to go ahead and put those together using that lay flat binding method, and then I'm going to go ahead with the inside spine piece and cover up that spine just like so. So with that, I'll be right back. All right, so I have my album cover all covered up right now, and now I'm going to go ahead and do the scoring for all of the pages using the cut guide that was provided. All right, so when you reach the double pocket hinge, what you're going to do is score that on the 1 inch side. You're going to score it at 1/2 inch, and then you're going to rotate it, and you're going to go ahead and see that what your piece has is 5 7/8 of an inch in length. So on your scoreboard, I want you just to scoot it over just a hair, like a 1/16 of an inch, so that you have the same amount of space from the end of the paper to the 6 inch mark that you do from the beginning of the paper to the 0. And then I want you to go ahead and score at the 3 inch mark down to that 1/2 inch score line. And I want you to score at 1/8 of an inch on either side of that 3, all the way down to that 1/2 inch score line. So you should end up with something like this. And then I'm going to go ahead and show you what I'm going to do is cut out that 1/4 inch. So I'm going to cut here, I'm going to cut there, and then this little piece is going to get cut out. Just like so. So then you end up with the 2 flaps that you're going to have for that double pocket to rest on, just like that. Okay? All right, let's keep on scoring. All right, so for this accordion piece, you're going to have the score lines on both sides here, the multiple score lines, and then you're going to have another score along the bottom for that 1/2 inch. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and cut out these 3 squares just like this. Okay. And then we're gonna do that same thing over here. Okay, so we've cut those out. And we're gonna go ahead and fold on all of those score lines. Okay. And then what you're gonna do is fold the whole flap under. Then on the next score line, you're gonna fold it back. And then you're gonna fold the last one back under as well. So it's a Z fold, just like that. So you can see that little mountain and valley happening there. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna place some glue, and then you're gonna fold up that bottom piece, just like so. Okay, let's squish these down. Hold it just like that. And now pull this up and over and hold it just for a minute so that that glue can dry. And you wanna go ahead and burnish really well. And that is going to make the bottom piece of your accordion pocket, just like that. Okay. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and burnish the rest of my pieces, cut out the corners to the 2 pockets, and I will be right back. Okay, so before you start assembling all of your pieces, I wanna make sure you think about your seam binding. So I'm gonna go ahead and place my seam binding down here. I only need a little piece of it to be held down right here. And then I like to use my double-sided tape to just hold that down there. And of course I should have measured this. I did, and then I didn't. I measured it to 10 inches. It's good enough. I'll do another 10 inches. It's about there. Put that aside. And then I'm going to put this one down right here, which is the right-hand side of my spine piece. So make sure you don't put your tape where it's going to not hold down your seam binding. Put enough on either side so that it can get a good hold. Okay, so that's that. And then you can see this is, I'm just gonna tie this up to get it out of the way for the time being. And then we're gonna go ahead and get started with putting our pages down. And this is our accordion folder envelope. So what I did on the last one is I used my envelope punch board and I centered my paper here. So this measures, fold it up, this measures, let's see, about 5 7/8. So we're gonna go with 5 and, so we're gonna go with 7/8, 3/8, 1, 2, 3, 2 7/8. That will be the center. I'm gonna go ahead and punch. Okay. Set that aside for later and give this a good dry fit. I want to go ahead and tuck my paper in. See, it's a little too big. I don't want it showing on either side unless I am specific about it, which might be okay. All The other thing I wanted to mention is you could do seam binding closure, but it seems that that might be a little bit too thick for the book. You might start getting alligator mouth. I don't have alligator mouth here, and I do have photo mats in here, but you may not want to do that just in case. So if you're going to use a magnet on your cover, I would suggest that you at least put your top flap down, the 1/2 inch portion that is down first, so that that 1/2 inch flap would be able to be hidden by your design paper, just like so. When you would put your magnet underneath there. Okay, so let me go ahead and get started with that. I'm gonna go ahead and glue this down. And I think for this one, scallop. I'm gonna go ahead and do the scallop edge for all these. Cute little look. All right, let's glue this baby down. Yeah, I'd like to hear from you all if you enjoy these videos that we do. Sure do have a lot of paper selection available from Country Craft Creations. It is very fun to create with all the things that are available there. So I'm going to go ahead and put this paper down, and I'm going to intentionally have some of that red paper show underneath. Okay. Just like so. Okay. Alright, now I'll go ahead and glue this down. Center it as best as I can. That's about right. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead, you'll see that this ends up with that 1/4 inch gusset there at the top. So make sure I have that 1/4 inch because that's going to help here. And then I'm going to go ahead with 2 of my magnets and place those on so I do not forget. Come on. Oops. Oopsie. Okay. So I'm gonna cover. Do I want it here on the side? Maybe I want it on the side. Yep, good enough. Doesn't have to be centered. I already put that thumb notch right there, so. And the other thing I like to do is go ahead and place some double-sided tape over top of those magnets to hold them down. And when I go to put my decorative paper, I'll go ahead and remove that double-sided tape from there. So now I have my magnets, and that's going to hold that shut really nicely. And we'll go ahead and start putting on the other pieces. So, guys. So the front inside cover, we've already done the accordion pocket. Okay, we're gonna go ahead onto page 1. Guys,